Lovely, lovely, lovely. Pleasant, good Tuesday morning, final day in the month of March. It's Good Morning Grenada for today, Tuesday, the 31st day of March, 2026. Of course, I'm Gordon Joseph, so happy to be with you once again. I just want you to know that if God is on your side, then, the fact of being a loser is nullified. You can't lose. Yeah. It is indeed a good day to have a good day in a good way. Yes. Why are you worrying? Why worry when you can pray? The devil is like a roaring lion. He's not. He's just like one, fake imitation. It's Tuesday. Heavenly Father, thank you for another day to come into your presence and worship you in spirit and in truth. For this we are grateful, thankful, and blessed. Lord, we don't know what today holds, but we place our trust in you completely. Lead us, guide us, strengthen us, and protect us as we go through this day. When we feel weak, remind us of your strength. When we feel overwhelmed, wrap us in your peace. We look to you, Lord, our rock, our refuge, and our redeemer. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen. Tuesday's blessings. May the Lord be with you and bless you. That's from Isaiah 41 and verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee, yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. If he's on your side, papi, you just can't lose. All right, don't let the devil trick you. Good morning to the world. Lauren Salim, good morning. She's with us and she's up and ready and rumbling. Yeah, she's always locked on. Stay blessed as always, Lauren, and all the wonderful folks inside of Hermitage and St. Patrick. Hope you all are doing well. Petlin is on her way to work, I presume. Be strong. Be courageous. Be positive today. Jennifer Colimo, good morning to you and the family. Jennifer Lawrence, good morning. Want to say good morning to the Parrot family out there in Rivulet Lane in Grenville. Mr. Lennox, Miss Denise, mommy, I used to call her in the bank. Dwight and Nikki, good morning. Eulyn Alexander, good morning. Mildred Smith, how are you? Monica Meros Williams, give Daddy Godwin a big hug and a hello for me, together with Miss Joan. Yep. Jennifer Lawrence, who else is here? All right, Mohini Jawahir, good morning. Michelle Bernard, hope you all are doing fine. Always reminding us that it is always a good day to have a good day, but most importantly, in a good way. Good morning to Mr. Curtis Peck, Philip and family out there in Apretut. Good morning, Judge. Judge let him clamp me yesterday. Judge, how you could do that, man? I was intent on, giving some real promotion to that company that clamped me because I parked in their space yesterday. Went to look for something and didn't get it, so I went looking around. They clamped me and charged me. I mean, any case, let's leave that there, all right? Yeah, I've thought about it and I said, you know what? I was in your place, so maybe I should not come back in your place. The word of the day today, that word is flexible. Flexible. F-L-E-X-I-B-L-E. Flexible. And it means able to change easily. Work hours should be flexible. Yeah, you should be working flexi time. Flexibility. Yeah. That's the word of the day. Good morning, Kingman and the folks out there in Mama Can, Mommy Lyris. I hope all is well. Yeah. So he will promise you It's 22 minutes on to 7 o'clock. Rastiva and family, Moyaki and family, the folks, all of you, Bongo, Ras Bongo, and everybody. Mongo or Bongo, you're not forgetting, man. The wholest family over there in Monlong, good morning. I see big things are going. Zeggy and the posse, good morning. Somebody's looking for somebody. Oh, the motivational tip of the day is up next. This is a big track from Edson, man. Yeah, this is a big track, a reality song. Hope in St. Andrew, good morning. Teacher Rufin, how are you doing, Pappy? All is well? The folks at M&N, Mahans, all the Mahans, good morning to you. Mr. Ross Stumpy Calist, Moms, good morning. Yvette Cato Calist, good morning. Carol, how are you doing? Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Yeah. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. A true thing that. Get some education today. Remembering that education is not just academics, right? Not the mathematics and the physics and so forth, but learning new things. Being able to adapt and accommodate, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what education is all about. It can change the world. 20 minutes on to 7 o'clock. The folks on the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, good morning. Good morning, Reverend Samuel Caesar out there in the US of A. East of Flatbush, New York, to be precise. Yeah, hope you're doing fine, Papi. How's Carriacou and Petite Martinique doing today? Patrick Cajo and family. Gailey, good morning to you. And the entire family. Shanti Mel, good morning. Duquesne. Yeah, Mr. Royden Bihari, good morning, young fellow. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Good morning, Joan Duncan. Nice. Dunfermline, good morning. Greta Joseph. Awa. Amoy Abraham. Good morning. All the wonderful folks inside of Dunfermline, Paradise, Chocolate City. Tito, good morning to you and the family. Epen and Banji and Squazim and Denson. Yeah. Simone, good morning. The folks on the Grins. Ronnie Livewire, good morning to you, bro. You're in Toronto, you're in Brooklyn, New York, you're wherever you are in the diaspora and you're hearing my voice. Hello. Hi. The folks inside of Bimsha, Mr. Crawford, how are you doing? I'm not hearing you, Papi. Just touch base and let me know that you're fine, please. The wonderful folks inside of Tobago, yeah? Jillian and family. Dr. Winchester, good morning. Erlyn, good morning. You're here or you gone? Jermaine, good morning to you. Let's see what's buzzing this morning. What's buzzing? Well, the opposition leader, Emmeline Pear, she cites that healthcare concerns for skipping a Project Polaris ceremony. In the region, Mexico discusses possible oil sales to Cuba. That's some good news of relief. Internationally, the White House stands by prayers for U.S. troops after Pope's criticism. And in sports, Lionel Messi to start for Argentina in World Cup farewell match. The details of these and so much more will be upcoming in the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather, which comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
I'm telling you, nobody.
sky, families on the beach, good food, good vibes. It's the Easter season. But parents, remember this. Even on holidays, your parenting duties continues. If they're at the beach, stay within arm's reach. If they're flying kites, keep them away from the roads and electrical lines. If they're out, know where they are, who they're with, and what time they're coming home. And remember, if you're liming, somebody must stay sober to supervise. More free time means more screen time. Monitor online activity. Maintain curfews. Keep structure in place. Because safety starts at home. This Easter, let's protect what matters most. A message from the National Parenting Program, Ministry of Social and Community Development, Housing and Gender Affairs. Empowering parents, protecting children.
In Grenada, sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. They teach discipline, teamwork, and resilience. They inspire the next generation to push boundaries and chase excellence. That's why the Investment Migration Agency of Grenada is proud to support sports initiatives as part of our commitment to youth and national development. When we invest in sports programs, we invest in the future. We invest in the health and well-being of our youth, and we invest in broadening Grenada's reach, proudly connecting our athletes, our talent, and our nation to a global community. Together, we all go further. The Investment Migration Agency. Unlock the possibilities.
Grenada, the fire's about to be lit. Get ready for the ultimate grilling showdown. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026 is coming your way. Saturday, May the 30th at the Monrouge Plain Field. The search is on for the island's top grill masters. Do you have what it takes? Bring your flavor and compete in the chicken category, the seafood category, and the bold, most creative grill category, where daring ideas take the crown. And this year, the heat isn't just for adults. Introducing the Junior Grillers category. Schools and youth groups. If you're under 18, this is your time to shine. So fire up those coals, sharpen those grilling skills, and get ready to battle for grilling glory. Registration is now open. Call or WhatsApp 405-8458 to secure your spot. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026. Saturday, May the 30th, Monrouge Plain Field. Come for food, stay for the vibes, and witness who will be crowned King of the Grill. Brought to you by Maggie, enhancing the natural flavor of your food.
This is the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, 31st day of March, 2026. Coming up in the news, opposition leader Emmeline Pierre cites healthcare concerns for skipping Project Polaris ceremony. In the region, Mexico discusses possible oil sales to Cuba. Internationally, the White House stands by prayers for U.S. troops after Pope's criticism. And in sports, Messi to start for Argentina in World Cup farewell match. The details to this and more right after these messages.
When you need someone to help you to your feet, I'll be that beacon to your highest peak. I'll be right next to you, no, I will never leave. Come on, take my hands, we got everything we need. Cause you can look to me whenever you're in need. Just call on me and I'll be on my way. I'll be by your side, never to divide. The light that shines our way. Wherever you road leads, we'll make your dreams come true. Next time, next time, next time, next day, oh.
Nexa Credit Union, with you wherever your road leads.
Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Before the digital age, before the world moved at the speed of a click, there was a signal connecting a nation. In 1986, a journey in broadcasting began in Grenada, a journey that would grow into a trusted voice across the country. For 40 years, through radio and television, we've been there for the stories that shaped our nation, the news that mattered, the voices that informed us, the moments that brought us together. Your stories, your voices, your moments. The Grenada Broadcasting Network, 40 years strong, one nation, one network.
Good morning, everyone. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph, welcoming Graphics and his audience from Hot 98 FM. In the news, the local scene, despite being listed on the official protocol as an invited guest, leader of His Majesty's opposition and political leader of the New National Party, Emlyn Pear, was notably absent from Friday's groundbreaking ceremony for Project Polaris. The absence raised eyebrows at the high-profile event, but speaking with media on Monday, Pierre addressed the matter, outlining her reasons for not attending.
No, I publicly stated that I was not going to be participating until there were certain questions about this particular project that was answered, and to date they're not. And I stood on the ground of principle, the team stood on the ground of principle, that you don't do this to the nation. You don't speak in very broad terms on things that are so critical with such serious financial implications and just expect everyone to go along, you know. For us, there are more questions than answers, and not just any questions that would have financial implications for this country for many, many years to come.
According to the opposition leader, her decision stems from concerns surrounding the project, which she says raises more questions than answers.
The question about the priority of the government, I mean, just look at the fencing. You know, one might want to ask, what was the cost of that? And could that have been used for something more immediate? Question is, why are we spending $25 million before a project even gets started? Could that go into primary health care? Could that go into addressing more critical issues? And that is why we were hoping that the government would sit with us long before they would have spent such significant sums to discuss this project. We would have advised the government differently. No problem with a hospital, a new hospital, but we are saying right now our focus must be on preventative care and saving lives.
The opposition leader also pointed out to what she described as the use of resources that, in her view, could be better directed toward more immediate and pressing healthcare needs requiring urgent attention. Against that backdrop, she says she cannot support the project in its current form.
You heard at the launch, the Gov Polyclinic was supposed to be a 24-hour service, so there's no need coming from Sates at midnight to go to the general hospital. You get service along the way within the community. So it would be very difficult to support this project in its current form.
She also noted that under the former New National Party administration, a different approach was taken, having then taken a policy decision to introduce polyclinics rather than building a new hospital where within 30 minutes Grenadians can access quality health care. From groceries to electricity and transportation, Grenadians are beginning to feel the effect of the escalating U.S.-Iran conflict, with rising global fuel prices and shipping costs threatening to push household expenses even higher. We have more on this.
We can safely expect increased costs across the board.
Even without direct involvement, Grenada is already feeling the early economic shockwaves of global conflict, particularly through rising transportation and import costs. For businesses that rely on steady supply chains, the concern is immediate. Managing Director of Renwick Thompson and Company Limited, Andrew Bazinski, says the first signs are already showing in shipping and fuel.
The indirect impact for us has been a slowing down in some of our supply lines. Suppliers tell you they're unable to supply in a timely manner. And we have been put on notice by some of our carriers that their costs are going up.
How significant?
So far we haven't had a firm indication, but my expectation will be that they're going to be significant. And there's a limit to what we can absorb and what we necessarily have to pass on.
That pass-through effect means higher prices on everything, from food and hardware to basic household items. Former business representative in the upper house, Christopher Niali, says those rising costs are already feeding into inflation with direct consequences for households.
What the government, last increase, government was saying when it reached $17 or more, they will cap it. That means government will be sustaining a loss and recovering from the pump. So that puts strain on the government ability to raise cash and to meet their payments in a timely manner. That is one side. Grenada gives us an indication that they do a 3-month average. But as I say, if this war continues, it's going to be worse. We enter a month already. They're going to take this last month would have seen increased prices, so it's going to filter through. And essentially your food bill is going, not your food bill, your energy bill is going to increase across your home and everywhere else.
Higher fuel and freight costs could soon push up electricity bills, transportation fares and grocery prices, forcing many families to cut back. There are also growing calls for greater self-sufficiency as the country looks to reduce its dependence on imports.
I'm hopeful perhaps that people will wake up and realize that every backyard should be producing something. Every household should be producing something, and lots of us don't.
See how you could augment your food bill on the vegetable side in particular. But the standard things like the cooking oil and the other stuff that is rated for VAT, you still wouldn't get much relief because the price, the basic price of the commodity will go up. So even though it's rated for VAT and you don't have to pay VAT, it still will increase. So those are the things I think as a country and as individuals we have to pay attention to.
But for now, the immediate concern is survival as households brace for rising expenses and businesses weigh how much more they can absorb before passing costs on. For GBN News, I am Eugenia Peters.
And finally, a new book exploring how education can promote peace across the Caribbean has been launched as the region faces persistently high crime rates. We have more in this report.
The spread of peace education in the Caribbean is a response to the rising levels of youth violence and social instability in the region. Professor Leslie Rogers launched his book, Proliferation of Peace Education in the Caribbean, on Friday.
And peace education is actually peace building and reconciliation, which I studied at the University of Winchester, very prestigious university. Peace education is about academic rigor and robustness.
Professor Rogers shared some information about this form of education.
Peace education is about peace building. Peace education speaks of pedagogy, But peace building speaks about structural change, structural adjustment, integrating policies and protocols in our education system.
He also described the process of peace building.
Peace building is transformative. It's a transformative approach that will change society gradually. Now, it is not a panacea. It is not a one-size-fits-all. By and large, our society needs it. Our society demands it. It's very important.
Peace education is also described as the process of acquiring the values, knowledge, attitudes, and skills to live in harmony with oneself and others and the environment.
And that story concludes the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments, they are straight ahead. Turning our attention now to the region, Mexico is talking with private companies about selling oil from Pemex, the state-owned oil company, to businesses in Cuba, President Claudia Sheinbaum said on Monday. Sheinbaum explained that several companies have shown interest in buying fuel from Pemex and selling it to Cuban firms. Her statement came after U.S. President Donald Trump said he is now open to other countries like Russia sending oil to Cuba, even though the U.S. had previously tried to block oil shipments to the island. Recently, the U.S. allowed crude oil to be sent to private companies in Cuba, but not to the government or military. Cuba has faced shortages since losing Venezuela, its main oil supplier, after U.S. forces captured Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro in January this year. The United States Court of Appeals has ruled in favor of Prime Minister Gaston Brown and other Antiguan and Barbudan parties in a financial disclosure case brought by Russian citizen Yulia Gurieva Matlokov. Matlokov, who claimed ownership of the Alpha Nero super yacht, challenged the government's 2024 sale of the vessel. The appellate court upheld a lower court's decision denying her application for discovery and quashing subpoenas for documents from U.S. financial institutions. All documents obtained via those subpoenas must now be destroyed with proof provided to the court. Attorneys for the Prime Minister are considering legal avenues to recover some appellate costs. Brown, maintaining the sales transparency, has also launched a $10 million defamation suit against attorney Martin De Luca and Boyce Schiller law firm over statements made during the case. Now, looking further afield, the White House has defended asking Americans to pray for U.S. troops fighting in the war in Iran after Pope Leo XIV said God does not listen to prayers of those who wage war. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters that there is nothing wrong with praying for service members and those serving overseas. The Pope, who was born in the U.S., has often spoken against the war and called for peace, but has not named any country in his statements. Last week, he asked for a ceasefire in the Middle East and urged both sides to talk. Leavitt and other leaders in the Trump administration have openly shown their Christian faith. She said leaders and troops have prayed during difficult times in history and that many service members appreciate the prayers. Leavitt called it a noble thing to do. That's the regional and international sport news. Stay with us. The sports is straight ahead. Good morning, sporting fans. Argentina coach Lionel Scaloni has confirmed that Lionel Messi will be in the starting lineup for Tuesday's friendly against Zambia. This match is Argentina's last game at home before they head to the World Cup. Messi began on the bench in Friday's 2-1 win over Mauritania, but Scaloni said the team will field a full-strength squad with Messi leading the way. Although Messi, now 38, has not officially announced his plans for the World Cup, Scaloni expects him to be part of the team for what could be his 6th appearance at the tournament. We want him to enjoy it because you really miss playing in events like these, Scaloni said. The coach explained that most of the usual starters will play against Zambia, and after this match, younger players may get a chance. Scaloni also said the final squad will be announced at the end of May, and performance will be key. I have to revisit this word that had me so in a quandary this morning. Mauritania. Yes, Mauritania. That's the sports, folks. Stay with us. The weather forecast is straight ahead, reminding us that you will have more sporting highlights during a luncheon and primetime newscast. The weather forecast is straight ahead.
I think part of the problem we have, and this is not unique to cardiology, but this concept of checkup is going for review. So for example, women are probably better at, they have the mammogram, they have the pap smear, an older patient may have a schedule with a healthcare clinic. But a lot of people in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s don't think of our healthcare as being part of a proactive thing. So they're waiting for something to happen, then go to the doctor.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Folks, for the latest weather forecast, we now join forecaster Finba Frank at the forecast desk at the MBIA. Good morning, Finba.
Hey, good morning. It's a fair morning down here, but just to the west of the island is a mid-level cloud that will sweep over shortly. Again, back to down here, the winds are calm. The pressure above the mainland rising at 13.6 millibars. Present temperature 25.7, orange 78%. Maximum temperature here within the last day got up to 30.2. Minimum last night 24.9. Please note all temperatures at all times are in degrees Celsius. In terms of rain here within the last day, there was no rain into the month so far. Total stays at 14.8, but this is only for the airport. Now let's take a look at the forecast followed for the day and the nighttime. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy with some light showers during the morning time, and then again we should get some during the nighttime. Maximum temperature should get up to near 30.5. Winds east and northeasterly to east southeasterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. During the nighttime we should see a drop in the wind speed, even becoming near calmer times. Waves should get up near 6 feet, and seas will be moderate. Tides are falling now, should be low just about 8, so not too long from now. Then high about 3 p.m. And then this evening should be low once more near 8:15. Sunset 6:18. Sunrise on Wednesday 6:03. Just to recap the forecast followed for the day and the nighttime. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy. Some light showers during the morning time, and then again we should get some again during the night time. That's from the Met Office. From my Frank.
Thank you very much, Finba. Have yourself a great day now, folks. The weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
Courts is giving you the chance to experience the Caribbean's premier music and arts event, the St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Every Courts purchase of $2,999 or more from now to April 23rd gives you a chance to win an all-expenses-paid trip for two to enjoy the music, the flair, and to create unforgettable memories for you and your guests. Don't miss this opportunity. Shop today only at Courts, bringing value home. Conditions apply.
It's 8 minutes after 7 o'clock. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Opposition leader Emmeline Pear cites healthcare concerns for skipping Project Polaris ceremony. In the region, Mexico discusses possible oil sales to Cuba. Internationally, the White House stands by prayers for U.S. troops after a Pope's criticism. And in sports, Messi to start for Argentina in World Cup farewell match. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, 31st day of March, the final day of March. On behalf of the entire news department, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for viewing and listening, wishing you a safe and productive day, and extending that invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because great things are happening here. Graphics and the team from Hot 98 FM, we say thank you for spending and sharing your time with us. Have a good day now, everybody.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Thursday, April 2nd, 2026, the official pre-character, all-inclusive, all-white cruise experience is here. Hosted by the Grenada Olympians. It's respectfully yours. Premium entertainment with music by DJ Blackstorm and graphics, food and drink inclusive, all-white dress code experience. It's an Olympian hosted celebration. Ticket outlets, go to fed.com. Grenadian Optical, Town and Grandance. Hot Boys Food Truck, Wall Street, and Chillaxing Cafe in Grandance and Souvenir. All proceeds support the next generation of Olympians. So on Thursday, April 2nd, respectfully yours, aboard the ecstasy, Carifta weekend starts. When the day's done, there's only one place to be. Jump it up. April 25th and 26th, the Kirani James Athletic Stadium comes alive. It's the Classic Lighting Communal Credit Union Invitational Games, the final showdown. Come witness all clubs battle for glory one last time. Gather your posse, take your stand, and jump up for Bankers Association, Hubbards, DigiCell, Huggins, Brenlek, Nawasa, Prisons, Police, Busmen, and Flow. This is rivalry. This is passion. This is Grenada on fire. April 25th and 26th. Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Don't miss it.
Serve Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
The amendments to the existing Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act shall allow for the decriminalization of cannabis in Grenada. It permits the possession of up to 56 grams of cannabis and 15 grams of resin for individuals aged 21 and older.
The amendment allows for the growth of up to 4 cannabis plants per household for medicinal, therapeutic, or horticultural purposes. The amendment provides legal framework for the Rastafari use and cultivation of cannabis as a sacrament in registered places of worship and at exempt events.
Amendments to the Drug Abuse Act also mandates the expungement of past criminal records and the immediate discontinuance of pending court cases for minor cannabis offences.
The amendment replaces criminal charges for those aged 18 to 20 with mandatory rehabilitation and counseling, ensuring no criminal record is created for young adults. Amendments to the Drug Abuse Act centers on the decriminalization of cannabis and not full legalization.
For more information, kindly contact the Cannabis Secretariat at cannabiscommission@gov.gd. The Cannabis Secretariat, guiding responsible cannabis use and awareness.
Minutes after 7 o'clock. At this time, I'm joining Sergeant Troy Paul from the Traffic Department of the RGPF. Good morning, Sarge.
A pleasant morning to you, also to your listeners, our listeners, especially our drivers and pedestrians this morning. Those who are listening to us right now and are depending on us to get to their destination, I just want to let you know that at this moment, the traffic is flowing smoothly in most of our areas, especially to and through our towns in the Tri-Island state of Grenada. So persons can definitely have that easement as they drive along any of our roads in Grenada at this moment. We have no reported accidents at this time and no unnecessary obstruction. So persons definitely can have that sense of free movement going through. Most of the traffic in those areas are light to moderate flowing of traffic. The exception is slightly coming up from the Caribbean. And as I've stated earlier, most of the traffic is moderately flowing. We do not expect a heavy flow as we get closer to the that we normally would expect on a morning time. One of the reasons we know for that is school is on holidays, so we do not expect that volume of traffic to be along the road, especially coming from the St. Paul direction at this time, Caribbean. But we know these are the areas we would have heavier flow of traffic as we get closer to the 8 o'clock hour. As we dive right into the accident state for the past 24 hours, we had a total of 6 minor accidents reported for the past 24 hours, and they are as follows. Traffic headquarters had a total of 4 minor accidents. St. Paul's had 1. And the St. David Police Station 1 as well, giving us a total of 6 minor accidents in the Tri-Island state of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. All the other stations had a quiet day as it relates to accidents. Nonetheless, we still want to appeal to drivers to continue to drive safely, along our nation's road, because the way we drive, the mentality in how we drive affects what happens. So definitely we appeal again to drivers to continue to drive safely. And remember, I always say the consequences of driving, the consequences of you having an accident can result in an offense, such as driving without due care and attention, reckless driving, or dangerous driving. And remember, all these offenses can allow you to end up into the magistrate court where you have to answer charge or charges. So again, I appeal to you to drive safely. We want to let persons know the consequences so that they can at least think about their actions while driving. So we just head back. We do not have any cruise ship in our port today, so we're definitely going to have a quiet one. We do have one funeral in the Beaulieu area sometime after 12 in the afternoon. So drivers, if you're traveling up that side, but we do not anticipate that it will be a big one. So still, we just want drivers to be cautious as you're driving up along that Beaulieu public road in the afternoon time, anything after 12-1 going up there. And so be mindful as well. As we dive right back into the traffic state, we just want persons to know that please we allow and we ask that you still leave home earlier to avoid any unnecessary rush, because we do not, any moment we could have any unusual occurrence as it is, such as accidents and obstruction and so on. But so do not take the school on holidays lightly and say I'm going to leave home a little later to get to work, but still leave home the time that you normally would so that you can get to work safely and on time. It is your responsibility to do so. And that is all we have for folks this morning. Anything from you this morning?
Not really. I'm just, continuously concerned about, the vehicles parked in places that they shouldn't be parked. I witnessed an accident yesterday, and I wouldn't disclose a location and so forth, but I want vehicle owners to be mindful that our roads are narrow enough already, and parking vehicles permanently in some locations infringing on the space of the road, which is already narrow. It's dangerous, and I witnessed an accident yesterday that could have been so much worse. So I just want people to be mindful of that and let the authorities do what they've got to do.
Absolutely, and which brings me to the mind. Brings to mind that persons are parking in and creating obstruction, or even leaving the vehicle in that dangerous position. That is an offense. And I trust that persons make the necessary report to the police station, and the police will definitely look into it and deal with it accordingly, because these are offenses where the police can clam, ticket, or tow your vehicle away once it is causing obstruction or that vehicle has been left in a dangerous position. Remember, it's a roadway where we share, where drivers are flowing from either direction, especially most of our roads are two-way. So let us be considerate as drivers, especially when we're parking. And it is something that we must take into consideration. And as a traffic department, we started, but we will definitely have to go back to that level of enforcement in those areas. So we advise persons to call in and let us know so that we can deal with those issues accordingly.
Thank you, Sarge. Have yourself a great day, but we wouldn't leave without asking the questions. If you are texting or doing anything else while you are supposed to be manning that vehicle, then who's driving?
Who is driving?
Who's driving? Thank you very much, Sarge. Have a great day now.
You have a blessed one and your entire team at the GBN.
All right. Folks, that was the traffic report. We take a quick break, commercial break. When we come back, I talk with Mr. Bascom. We're talking parenting.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates, and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
Grenada, we are back. Our senior women's national team returns to the pitch for a massive CONCACAF W qualifier, and they need your power behind them. Tuesday, April 14th, Karani James Athletics Stadium, Grenada versus Cayman Islands. Kickoff 5 p.m. This is national pride. This is passion. This is the road to glory. Tickets, adults just at $25, children $10, and kids under 12 get in free. Get your tickets now at gotofet.com or at these outlets: Chucky's Bar, Grenadian Optical, St. George's, and Spiceland Mall. GFA office. Bring your flags, bring your voice, and come support our Grenada women's national team as they battle for victory. Follow the journey on social media at Grenada Football Association. Grenada versus Cayman Islands, April 14th, 5 p.m. Be there and stand with Team Grenada.
You've arrived in paradise. You felt the rhythm. Now let's make sure you say it right.
My name is Florian. I'm from the beautiful Aida Perla cruise ship. So today, like we Germans say, we are in Grenada. But I heard in English it's called Grenada.
Say it right. Grenada.
Say it right.
Grenada.
That's right.
Distributed by Echo Blue Limited. Visit us on the Lansopine Main Road or call 405-4818.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation this morning. I'm joined, as I told you, we're talking parenting, but this time we're focusing primarily on fathers. I'm here in the studio with Mr. Jerry Bascom. He is representing a very, very noble initiative, and to back that up, well, coincidentally, well, I don't believe in coincidences. Pastor Stanford Simon is lined up next, and he is one that is deep in that sort of narrative as well. So, good morning, Mr. Bascom. How are you?
Well, a pleasant good morning to you. I am great. You know, it's one of the moments when I actually had to get up early and move to come down. So, I'm in good spirits.
What's early?
Well, early, normally I'm in St. George's around 7:30, 7:45.
Right.
And in order to be here for 7:15, I had to leave because I live in Latante.
That's right there.
Right. Yeah, down in
I
Demont.
live in Corinth.
Yes, well, I know. Yeah. I live in, and to get up and
4:30. Well, I'm up 3 o'clock every morning. So
wow.
That's so getting here that time and telling me all I'm saying. What's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with this guy? That's late. Yeah. But nonetheless, in the pre-chat that we were having, I'm happy that at least someone at this time found it necessary to have a program that deals primarily with our men. All right, and I really love this. And what made it even more interesting, I understand that you were in conversation with a group of men from the Bellevue Apretut area.
Yes,
that's wonderful. Give us a backdrop as to the program.
Well, this program is a CFLI program. It's funded by the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives. It's a gender responsive empowerment coaching program for fathers.
Okay.
And the aim is to prevent intergenerational violence and strengthening peace building.
Okay.
Yes. So now I've been working in residential care homes for the past 15 years, working along with residential care homes.
That's in Grenada?
In Grenada.
Okay.
Father Malagan, Queen Elizabeth, Bel Air Home, all these homes. I started off at Father Malagan Home, and I've noticed that we've had the majority of caregivers are women. And in between, you'd have a few male caregivers. But male caregivers don't last long in their job, for whatever reason. Because if you do a survey now, you'd see 80% are women, or probably 85,
maybe 90,
maybe 90
maybe
or 95.
90,
yeah. Yes, because I personally know one male caregiver now that works in the caregiving, and we start, and then somewhere along we just end up dropping off. And I've noticed that also in family. Yes.
Yeah, we have a lot of absent fathers.
Yes.
Why do you think that is the case?
I can't put a finger on it, because I've in speaking with men, I genuinely believe that fathers really want to be in their children's life, and fathers want to make a difference. But I think based on how we were brought up, a lot of us were brought up, even if we knew our father, we didn't have a father around. A mother was doing almost everything. You might go and visit dad, or your grandmother, exactly.
Grandmother,
and you would have to go probably visit dad, or dad stop by for a little bit, but mom was always there. So we grew up with that, and it almost seemed like an okay thing,
right?
And I mean, men sometimes we tend to can't take pressure.
But that's strange. We're supposed to be
the stronger vessel, but
maybe it's only physical, maybe not mental and logical.
Absolutely, because we're quick to move. It's easy, actually. It's easy for a man to move.
Men are very fluid.
Yes, so it's easy. In a relationship and you're in the family and you're feeling a little stress, it's easy to pack and move. It's more challenging for the mother, because the mother is more connected, and you hardly see the mother just leaving. And
we have it too, but on a small scale.
Yeah,
a small scale, because I personally know of cases where the dads are growing the children.
Of course, yes.
Good morning, Dante. That's a good friend of mine that is being, he any case.
Yes,
that's personal. But okay. I'm happy that you have such an initiative. And let me ask though, what was the main cause for you initiating that conversation?
Well, it started with the conscious discipline. Because in conscious discipline, they've been coaching, we started off coaching conscious discipline in the pre-primary schools at this low level. And conscious discipline focuses on safety, connection, and problem solving. Mm-hmm. And I've always spoken about the need for dads to be more involved in so many aspects. So even when you look at the schools, even in the preschool teachers are 80-85% again female.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see very rarely see a male at a preschool.
Well, I've been a teacher for many years, and I have not seen a male preschool teacher.
Exactly.
I have not seen that.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, so children at that age, even if you leave home and you still don't get the experience of a male presence, you know, there to teach. So we've had this conversation with the Saving Brains, and they went out and they got that grant with CFLI, and they offered me, because I used to be like a conscious discipline coach going into the schools, and then I got this independent contract to work directly with fathers. And mind you, I was the only male coach in a group of, I think it was 8 or 9 of us, and I was the only male coach. But for the past few years, I've always found myself being like probably the only male in a lot of things. Yoga. Over the past few years, I've been practicing yoga. I did a 200-hour intensive yoga training course, and there were two men there, and 20-something ladies. And at first, when I started talking about what I'm doing, you know, yoga, even with my friends, you know, like Jerry, yeah, Jerry, I don't know if you're playing girl, you know. But what that has done for me over the years, you know, that has helped me to be able to practice maintaining calm, you know, and just being balanced. You know, looking at seeing life from a whole different angle. It has taught me composure. It has taught me compassion. It has taught me empathy. Because when we take time, time is all. It's the simplest thing. Life is so simple.
Yeah.
And yet we complicate it. We are the ones who complicate it, and then we blame, saying life this and the world is this. But we are the ones.
Yeah.
But it's really simple. Yeah. Because remember, life is just about the breath of life.
Yeah.
And the breath of life is inhale and exhale.
Yeah.
And that's like the foundation of yoga. Yeah, we complicate it. You know, so.
Yeah. But that I'm happy to meet you. Right? It's strange. You in Latin, I'm in Corinth. I traverse that area, but I can't remember meeting you. But now we have to become friends.
Yeah. Well, I stopped by a long time ago at your place.
Right.
And sang a two karaoke song, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
right.
So you know, I know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get to this now. In your conversation thus far, you said you had conversations. You had 16 sessions with a group of men from the Bellevue Apretut area.
Yes.
What was the nature? What was the core of that conversation, or those conversations?
Well, our focus was on self-regulation, basically self-regulation, behavioral issues. One of the highlights for me with all the sessions was that when we started talking about the brain and the different states of the brain and how state dictates behavior. Now, there are basically 3 main states of the brain. The survival state, that's when you're in the lower state, fight, flight, or freeze. The emotional state, where you're asking, am I loved? Because that's when you become emotional, I hate you, and that. And then there's the executive state when, you know, how can I solve this? Yeah. What can I do?
The take charge state.
Yes, exactly, the take charge state. Yeah. But we know that's been fully developed probably at the age of 21, and in some cases even later.
Yeah.
So when I started talking, when we reached that discussion with the fathers, that's where I think the interest was, because they sort of almost thought it was a real scientific thing. But then when we broke it down simple, then they started opening up. Because every time we met, we would have discussions on challenges and celebrations. So whatever, when we leave Sunday, you have the rest of the week. Despite we were chatting on the chat group every morning, different men would wake up, you know, hey dads, wishing you well, and you know, I have messages on my phone here from the dads.
So you had a chat group.
Yeah, we created a chat
group. You were
group.
Getting that sort of responses from the men.
From the men, yeah,
that's good.
From the men, you know, they encouraging each other. Remember, take care of the children. Blah, blah. Sometimes, remember, there's sports going on, because that was around the time, let's go out and support our children and stuff, you know, and that was coming from dads at the first couple of sessions. they were a little bit hesitant because I was new in the area too, and they were wondering, well, what this man coming about? Yeah, what this man coming about? Yeah.
They would have reacted differently if you came with a jacket.
A jacket and a tie, yes, actually, yeah. But then when we came and, I bought the posters just showing them the different states and the brain, where it's at and how we there, and then they started, drawing in closer. And they were planning, okay, well, listen, let's have a next meeting in the playing field. Let's have a next meeting on the beach, and they were creating, and the thing about it, though, when you look at the fathers themselves, too, was men who had hustle to do, who were doing landscaping, and who, and young men, and they're different thing. But then we got together, even now, the 16 weeks is up, and we still have the chat group happening. And the plan is now to meet at least once a month, because I'm moving on to another group, trying to organize another group in St. George's.
Okay.
And then from here, I'll be going back to St. David's, because St. David's is a big place, and it's easier when you work with a little community. If it's a community and it's 8 dads, because it was 8 dads, everybody, it's easier, Then if you have the random places, then just setting the time and all that is a bit more challenging.
Okay, so this program is funded.
Yes.
What's the lifespan of that program?
I have 3 cohorts. So the first cohort was at St. David's, and then
St.
George, and then back to St. David's, although the intention might have been to mix, do some from St. George's and some from St. David's. But that would be a great challenge, as we mentioned, because of logistics. And then also my intention too is to get the chat groups, is to join the chat group after a while. So after this chat group, and they come comfortable and we talk, and then I could connect them with the St. David's chat group, and then we can, because the 8 young men from St. David's have friends outside there who they can connect with too, and talk with too.
And then you get the multiplier effect.
Yes, and then, and then we spread it around, and then after we can all get together and start to meet places and share things. Because, I went with this intention, but brother, when I got there and the plans these young men started coming out with, like, okay, for Christmas they wanted us to do a Christmas hamper and the playing field and organize stuff for the children, and they started talking about, I started hearing things that I wasn't even contemplating, about men talking about, they hate to see bus conductors and busmen with little girls. They hate to see the little girls driving them buses, jamming up this young man, and any little thing they see. So it opened their eyes even more as a whole set of protective fathers. So they started, it's almost like we had a watch group. So sometime in the chat group, somebody would bring up something about something they saw with a little girl waiting for a bus, and so it just started spreading.
Let me ask you this. We're running out of...
Yes.
You have to come back by me.
Yes, I will.
You know that.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a conversation that is needed. Don't you think that society has given up on men, especially young men, too quickly?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I'm saying this, I too did, I conducted some psychosocial training for legal aid and so forth with the alternatives program, and I was part of Man to Man and everything like that.
Yes, I remember Man to Man.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. But from what you're saying there now, it shows that despite the rough surface that you see on young men, and young men are easily branded, all right? 1 or 2 mistakes and they're branded, but you were able to pull out from them the core in them, and it's not what you anticipated.
No.
So I am of the opinion that society has given up on our men, or young men, too easily. And in addition to that, the blame is not solely on the shoulders of the young men, because they were cultured a particular way. You can't give what you don't have. And if you didn't get it, how could you give it? Exactly. You understand? So men were placed in this situation where they were dropped in the ocean without a life vest or a boat or anything, and expected to swim properly back shore. Not trying to make excuses for the bad behavior and so forth, but that's the reality of it. 90% of our young men grew up without a father figure in their life.
Absolutely.
But you expect them to be good fathers and good young men. How does that happen?
Exactly.
How does it happen? Pastor Stanford and I would have a little conversation on that when he gets here. But we're out of time. But I'd like to invite you back to another program. We'll talk that off the set where we can have a lengthy because we need these sort of programs. Are you working collaboratively with agencies like Legal Aid and so forth, SVU, and because they all tied in, huh?
Yes, absolutely. They're absolutely all tied in, and that's the thing, that everybody's in their own little way, and it's just like how the fathers group could come together.
Yeah, we need to.
If everybody comes together, and then these little fathers group would be willing to participate in things. So then we now have, they say that it takes a community to raise a child.
It's definitely so.
Yeah. But then we talk it though.
We don't do it.
But we don't create the community to. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, I'm so happy, especially when you said that you spoke with you had this productive conversations with the guys from Bellevue, Apretut area, because I know this area. That's my turf.
Yeah.
And getting that from these guys, it's very touching.
I was a bit hesitant, to be quite honest, when I got here and I saw, some rough guys. Rough
on the outside.
Yeah, rough on the outside, But when I settled in, it would be a pleasure to just go and be there with them. We sit, we talk, they share things.
The churches keep staying in the walls and not going
outside in the communities, yeah.
Mr. Bascom, anything you'd like to add just before we wrap?
Well, I just want to add that anybody, you'll only do better when you know better. And as I've said, what I've noticed is our fathers are willing. We just have to be compassionate. We have to practice the things like empathy, compassion, composure, encouragement, and what we focus on, we get more of.
Yeah.
So I'd like to end with that. What we focus on, we get more of. So if we focus on all the negatives, of course we'll only be seeing negative. But if we switch,
the tree that gets more fertilizer and care bears more.
Absolutely. Well, yes, I could end on that. The tree that gets more fertilizer, yes, bears more.
Yeah, bears more. Mr. Bascom, thank you very much. Like I said, we will converse. And we will be back on this program. And maybe what we can do, we can try and bring in one or two other guys.
Yes, well, yes, because it's because of this morning, because I was told that I can bring a few guys one along with me.
The next hearing that we're having, the next conversation we're having, we're going to try and bring one or two of the guys.
Because I know two who would have been willing to come along with me.
Next time they're coming with us.
Okay.
Yeah, they watch me every morning and they're saying, "Oh, you're looking nice on TV. Come on, be nice on TV. Come with me this morning." That's a challenge to you guys out there, right?
All right.
So, Mr. Bascom, congratulations on what you're doing. I am very impressed. I'm very happy that an ordinary man like you saw the need for such an initiative and went out and fought for it, and you have it running. I do hope that the funding continues so you can spread it.
Thank you. I do hope so too.
All right. Folks, I've been speaking with Mr. Bascom, Jerry Bascom, as he does the mentoring for our fathers. We take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. When I come back, I've got Pastor Stanford Simon with us. Don't you go anywhere.
Athletic fans, the time is drawing near for the most anticipated junior athletic game in the region, the 53rd Carifta Games, right here at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, April 4th to April 6th, 2026. Get your tickets now and be part of the incredible excitement the athletes will bring, both on the track and in the field events. It's going to be a spectacular display of young talent and sheer determination. We've got options for everyone. Finish line tickets, day pass, just $120. Season pass at a fantastic $350. The main pavilion offers a day pass for $60 and a season pass for $170. Even our secondary stands are accessible at $40 for a day pass and $100 for the season. And for the ultimate budget-friendly experience, bleachers are only $25 for a day pass and $60 for the season. On April 4th, we're kicking things off with a bang. And to add to the visual, supporters are encouraged to wear green on April 5th, yellow on day 2, and on day 3, red. Let's paint the stadium with pride. And the excitement does not stop there. An added attraction is a vibrant cultural village, showcasing our rich cultural heritage with tons of excitement daily. You truly don't want to miss Carifta 2026. It's a celebration of sport, culture, and community.
The Grenville Cooperative Credit Union introduces its new digital platform, managing your finances at any time from anywhere.
As a part-time student, balancing work and studies can be a real challenge. But with GCCU's digital app, these worries are no more. My parents can now remotely transfer funds to my account and I can check my balance at any time, giving me the freedom to achieve my goals.
My days can be long and tedious. With this app, I can ensure my loan is paid on time, transfer funds to someone else's account, and check my balances. I don't have to rush to do business during my lunch hour or after work anymore.
With this app, I can request checks to pay my suppliers, letters for my business transactions. I don't have to leave my farm to go stand in line.
The Grenville Credit Union digital platform. It's convenient and secure banking right at your fingertips. Download the app today from the Play Store or App Store or call 442-8602, 459-4325 or 416-8467 for further information.
Grenada, the fire's about to be lit. Get ready for the ultimate grilling showdown. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026 is coming your way. Saturday, May the 30th at the Monroe Plain Field. The search is on for the island's top grill masters. Do you have what it takes? Bring your flavor and compete in the chicken category, the seafood category, and the bold, most creative grill category, where daring ideas take the crown. And this year, the heat isn't just for adults. Introducing the Junior Grillers category. Schools and youth groups. If you are under 18, this is your time to shine. So fire up those coals, sharpen those grilling skills, and get ready to battle for grilling glory. Registration is now open. Call or WhatsApp 405-8458 to secure your spot. Maggie, King of the Grill 2026. Saturday, May the 30th, Monroe Plain Field. Come for food, stay for the vibes, and witness who will be crowned King of the Grill. Brought to you by Maggie, enhancing the natural flavor of your food.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's 10 minutes on to 8 o'clock. We've got 10 minutes with Pastor Stanford Simon, today being his final day as head pastor at the St. George's Baptist Church. Are you crying, Pastor?
No, I'm not crying. I'm extremely happy. Good morning. Good morning to your listeners. Yeah, that's the question I answer. No, I'm happy. Over 25 years at St. George's Baptist Church as the lead pastor there. I am happy to be able to say to the public, I have delighted to Pastor Richard Beckford, who now will already have the portfolio of pastoring, leading the church. I've been, since last year, I've been gradually pulling back and giving him more responsibility. And the transition went very smoothly, I must say. Unbelievably smoothly. The church accepting it, my leadership team, the discussion we had, the plans that we put together to ensure that this works smoothly. But this I've been planning. 15 years ago we started, 7 years ago intensifying, 3 years ago really pushed that, and 1 year ago finally putting it together, because I've said to them very early that between 57 and 60, that's it, that's where I want to go. So this is long and planned. That's something just happened. And in so doing, the church, I guess, was taken a bit back by it because of the fact that when I told them a year ago, okay, I'm going to go. We can have somebody who then they didn't really want, thinking what would happen, and having somebody for this long is always a challenge. But they were accepting of it. It wasn't something that anybody pushed back against. It's just saying, okay, fine, yeah, we get it.
But you seem to be one that looks further down the road, because especially in succession.
Yes.
Because I remember you gave someone an advice.
Yes.
It created some contention. But,
yes.
But,
Right, because I think it's important. If you cannot plan your transition, if you cannot look ahead and prepare the next generation for leadership, then you have failed as a leader. It's important that you put the mechanism in place and you're willing to pull back and allow them to take responsibility, and you are there to help and to guide and to give advice. That's how you prepare the next generation for leaders. What we have been doing, our leaders are staying too long in position, and we as pastors are guilty of that too, because for one reason or another we want to stay there, and then some pastors outside of pastoring, they have nothing else, that they have planned their life outside of pastoring, so it becomes a challenge for what do I do after I retire. That become a challenge too. So, but you need to plan your retirement. I remember going to Jamaica. I was 20 years of age, and Reverend Callum took me. He said, I want to show you something, and he took me to see a pastor who was living in a manse. He said he's in his 70s and he cannot leave the manse. He said, do not allow that to come to you. Do not allow that to be you.
Okay.
And it helped shape my ministry and how I think and what I do, because it's important, I believe, that we prepare the next generation for leadership. And that's what I've done at the St. George's Baptist Church. But as you know, I've not only been involved in being a pastor of a church. I have construction, I do that. I've been sitting on boards, the credit union for over the years. I've been involved in the community work. So I've done a lot of things outside of pastoring. So pastoring do not define me. I'm not the one who just do pastoring. I'm not defined. Outside of pastoring a church, there's so many other things I do and I can do and willing to do. So it put me in a position where I am capable of living my life very comfortable outside of pastoring a church.
So what's next for Stanford Simon?
Well, I would think for me, as I've always said to the Grenadian public, I'm a lover of politics. And this has nothing to do with the other. I'm doing one. It's like, people say, well, you're leaving this to go to do that. No. As you know, I and Peter David have always been close. We have always had a good, strong relationship. And I continue to work with him to be able to see the future of Grenada and how best I can help and how best I can serve. And we see how that works itself out. But I'm very much engaged in looking at the future of how do we help our country and what service do I give, as I've given in the past. What do I give myself to within the context of politics? And I'm excited about it too.
I'm glad that you said that, because for you to raise that notion of Peter David and the Democratic People's Movement.
Yes.
What do you think is the future for that party? Do you think it has a space in Grenada's political landscape?
I believe for the first time in our history, I believe that there is a space for a third party. Remember, I always said to people think third party always, but NDC was a third party coming in, and it look at where it is today. Some surge in very quickly, so others take time. But I think for the first time in our history, there is great room for a third party. I think there was 25 or 26,000 people didn't vote in the last election.
Yeah.
So why? Why they did not vote? Because these individuals do not see room for them in the two existing party. Or they're fed up, or they want something different, to be able to take us to another level of experience and have a different way of approaching the country's future. As you know, we have a lot of young people that are unemployed. The skill set is very low. If you think about it, when you were growing up and I was growing up, a lot of our skills come from the north of the country.
Yeah.
All right? Today, there's work across the country, but a lot of young people do not have a trade. Carpenters and masons and electricians. When you leave school, I remember the first thing that you think about doing is going and learn a trade, right? Yeah. There are a lot of things that are available now, but you have a lot of these young personnel have no skill, but they want money. And because they've been trained to think that way. For the last 25 to 30 years, I think we have played a lot of emphasis of just giving them things and not allowing them to work for it. So many of them feel they could come on our workplace and it should just happen. They do not want to get to work on time. They do not want to make the sacrifice that is necessary. So that mindset we need to change, and we need to look heavily at how are we going to look at our country. Food security is a big thing. How do we deal with that? The reality, even what's happening in the Gulf now, energy security, and I know there have been a great emphasis and more being put on solar, which is important. I must say that the St. George's Baptist Church, where we're had we put solar on our church, so we pretty much could run off the grid. My home is the same thing. So this is something I think is important for our country to be able to look at. I know the past governments have looked at it and have given a lot of emphasis and tax break to ensure that we have that. And it is important. I think a lot of Grenadians haven't taken that opportunity to allow themselves to use solar as something that they can do to help us in the future of that. So our healthcare system, that's another issue that is really, really critical for us. As you know, we've been trying our best to do this medical health every year for the last 6 years, and I must say the governments have been very helpful, very, very helpful in working with us to ensure. They see over 1,000 persons every time they visit here.
Oh, that's your team that comes in?
That's a medical team that comes, and it's been very, very successful. And the partnership between the government of Grenada and the St. George's Baptist Church with Christian Services Corporation have been very, very good. So that has been very successful. But I think you need to look deeper. The revolution had where you had the primary care, where you look at the health care in the villages where people, that is effective. I think a lot of emphasis need to be put on that to be able to see how best can we do the primary care. So by the time you reach the general care, less people is coming to the general hospital. So I think a lot of outfitting of the places in the community need to be, and a lot of emphasis on we're using too much sweet.
Yeah.
Too much sweet, and something that we used to go to school with fruits, right? That way, and mango and so anything in season that we eat.
Strange enough, I've gone back to that. Fruits are what I eat on mornings now.
Yeah, it did. But you have to, because at the end of the day, diabetes, you see a lot of our people now are very weighty. We have a lot of, so you walk around Grenada, obese, a lot. I remember ladies saying to me, she said, when I came to Grenada in the 80s, people, she said, I was jealous of the women and men because they were so slim and trim. Because we used to walk a lot. That has changed. But I think, we as a country have to work together. It is important that we work together. And it's important that we put the pieces together to ensure that we succeed, because we cannot do it individually. It needs to be a collective effort. And that comes by sacrifice. And the sacrifices, we all have to look at where we are, what needs to be done, and to be able to do it not selfishly, but collectively. I think that is critically important.
Well, it's unfortunate that we run out of time, but you're busy this morning, and I also want to meet Pastor Beckford?
Yes, I would speak with him. I'll see next week if I can get him to come, so we can have a chat together.
And hopefully next week we can delve a little deeper into your political prowess.
Well, we would see. We would see when I think, give me a week or two. I have my the church doing a big farewell for me on the 12th. They are doing that at the trade center.
Did you cry?
Well, yeah. Sunday I did. I did.
I suspected you would.
I did it on Sunday. It was a great service on Sunday, I must say. And I remember at the end, I did.
Yeah.
I did. My emotions.
25 years. It's not easy to just overlook like that.
No, it's not. But it was tears of joy. It was tears of joy to see that you could transfer leadership to a person who is capable of taking the church to another level. That to me is important, because sometimes I think we as leaders want people, they don't want them to be better than us. We kind of want them. But I think it's important when you can transfer leadership and you look at someone who could take it to another level. That to me is critically important for the success of our churches, of our businesses and our country. Our businesses in Grenada have failed because we did not do that. If you go into town now, there is hardly any Grenadian businesses there. Why? Because we did not do that, and in turn it hurt us. We sent our children to be lawyers and doctors and everything else, but we didn't taught them to be business people, and therefore it has failed us. And I think it's important that we as churches need to also look at that. How are we transforming our country?
Pastor Stanford Simon, is it okay to still call it?
No, I'm still a pastor. That haven't changed. Okay. That will not change. I don't. Why people think so? I mean, the only thing I've done right in this is to be able to do my retirement from the St. George's Baptist Church after 25 years. I will be at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Calavini.
Okay.
That's where I'll spend my time. Leave Pastor Beckford. I'm still a member of the church of St. George's Baptist Church, but allow him now to begin to take his time and to develop and shape the church into what he wants as a leader. But I will be at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Calavini, and that's another excitement and that's where I started ministry.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. I still be doing weddings. That's all the stuff I do as a pastor will be doing. I still be preaching. I still have my radio program. All my programs I will be doing. There is only one thing that will be different going forward. I will not be the senior pastor of the St. George's Baptist Church.
Pastor Stanford, thank you for dropping by, and we look forward to a conclusion conversation, hopefully next week.
Well, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, we look forward to that.
Yes, great.
Folks, thank you. The BBC is up next. Don't you go anywhere.